give us an update on Tadhg and Bob and Johnny and
Tadhg Beirne or Tadhg Furlong? Tadhg Beirne, I think, has been released. He's headed in for an operation today, and I guess the kind of high ankle issue, which is the syndesmosis, which is going to be anything between 10 and 12 weeks out of action. So yeah, it's quite a common operation these days, and it's a procedure which a lot of players have had to go through. So hopefully the operation goes well and he's back up and running and ready to go in about 10 or 12 weeks.
And Johnny and Rob from the weekend?
As in Rob Herring, yeah, nasty blow. Just he's is sort of, he'll be following a return to play protocol, and he's in good form today. A little bit sore, but as expected. And Johnny is already back into rehab and working with the guys to get himself back up to speed to train next week. That's the plan.
You'd be hoping for that to be fit for the Italy match?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously Rob will come under the return to contact and play protocols, which he obviously has to pass to become fit and available for selection. But Johnny is like other players who have little niggles. He's just trying to put himself in a position to be ready to go on Monday.
So how much of a loss is it, Tadhg Beirne, and how well are you set to kind of compensate for that?
Tadhg's been phenomenal, hasn't he, over the last couple of seasons? But like we've already had to do during this championship, we lost players before the game against Wales, and we've had to adapt. I think that's the testament to the squad and to the work that the players have put in, that even those guys who might not expect to be involved come in, they step in, and the standard and the performance doesn't drop. So it's really unfortunate that we've lost Tadhg, but we're very fortunate with the stocks that we have available to us in his position. And like I say, other players have done that. They stepped in, and the performance hasn't dipped. So I guess that's part and parcel of the game. World Cup, you could be without a player for a few weeks, and we might keep hold of a player, but someone else has got to step in, and I guess having the ability to deepen our experience in the squad and playing in big games is part and parcel of us being the best we can be, whether it's the best 33 in a World Cup or we might have to dig deeper to 40, 45 players, and that's the kind of, I guess, the mentality was a couple of years ago, to make sure that we had more than just 30, 31, 32 players, 33 players available, that we certainly have drilled down into players underneath those, and we feel like we're much better placed to lose someone like Tadhg and not lose performance in players who come in.
Tadhg Furlong said kind of early January he was hopeful of making that Wales game. Did he have a setback, and is he looking like he's featured in this situation?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, two things. Yeah, he's I guess he had awareness of his calf and how that was responding, and he's in a really good place, but he knows his own body and understands how that works, and we're very hopeful, and I think so is he, that will be involved at some point during the Six Nations, but it's a sort of injury like a lot of those soft tissues that you want to make sure you don't get wrong. You want to make sure you get it right, and they feel like they've got enough in the bank in terms of exposure to the sort of high intensity of the game, and how can we do that? We can do that as much as we can in terms of training, but at some point he'll have to expose himself to a game, and that hopefully that'll be over the next few weeks.
Sorry, maybe do the full bulletin. Ian Henshaw and Gibbs Parker, are they around camp now?
Yeah, they're all around. They're sort of dipping in and out of doing their rehab and sort of, I guess, keeping on top of their own individual work, along with staying connected to the group, and hopeful that they'll all come back into contention over the next couple of weeks.
Simon, just picking up on the points about players filling in. Like you look at something like Tadhg Beirne or Shooting Gusky or Tom Creed going on. So many players are slipping in seamlessly and the performance isn't dropping. What are you working on with the players to have them primed to step up and perform so well?
I think the players take a massive part of the responsibility to make sure they know what they need to do. Finlay's a great example, isn't he? That maybe didn't expect to start the Six Nations if Tadhg had been fit, but he's stepped up and he's delivered in his kind of essentials of his scrum and his line-out work. But then, in terms of what he's done around the park, he's been exceptional. The more time we can spend with the players, the more exposure they have to what we're trying to do, and it's not massively different to what the provinces are doing. So there's plenty of continuity, I think, in terms of what we're doing and what they're doing in the provinces. I guess the game is slightly quicker at international level. They have less time to make decisions. We'll challenge them on making good decisions and I guess being as effective and as accurate as they can be in those decision making, whether it be defending or attacking. But the players have massively bought into taking responsibility, so that if they are called upon, that they're ready. And I guess they also know that if they don't take that opportunity, then at the moment we have such strength in depth that there's players who are ready to go and step into their shoes, and that drives competition. But it massively drives standards, and it drives continuity, and it drives consistency of performance. So I think there's a number of things that go along with players who step in, and it's not filling in because they're ready and they're good to go, and they don't allow the quality or the standard of the group to drop when they do come in, and then it becomes harder for that player that didn't make it to come and get rid of him, so that's great for our competition for places and selection. It makes it harder for us to select because we've got more players to choose from.
Simon, just in relation to hooker, obviously with Rob Herring's position, what's the position with Dan Sheehan?
Dan again is one that's coming back to recovery, and we're hoping that he's available next week. So we pulled Tom Stewart in the back end of last week, partly because we were unsure a little bit around the other guys. So it's again, we're probably pretty fortunate. We have a number of very good hookers that have missed out on selection as well. But there's real confidence that the three of the hookers that are available will be available for selection next week. And that's Dan, Ronan and Rob all together.
And just back into the ball and play stats against France, and I guess it added perspective a little bit, but I thought it's something you as a group have discussed, trying to, I guess, clearly the conditioning of the team is working. Having done it for every long period as possible is a positive for this Irish team.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that we've massively focused on. I think we feel we can not just survive but thrive when it goes more than 3 or 4, 5, 6 phases, and we have to outwork a team. I guess the nature of the game, sometimes when neither side kicks out, they keep the ball in play a little bit longer. There wasn't a huge amount of error, and if there was error, both sides wanted to play and didn't look to try and slow the game down, which maybe inevitably ends in having to have a set piece, potentially a scrum off the back of a knock on. So I think there was two sides who were prepared to play at high intensity and keep the ball in play, and it certainly suited our lads. They were blowing and they were working incredibly hard, and it is reasonably high, but it's something that I think is just the nature of the game at the moment. There's a lot of games are sort of getting to that 40-minute mark, and it's not something that we massively discuss or have a huge amount of focus on, but understanding that the players feel comfortable and they can compete and they can really thrive in that space is great, because there is a big difference between 40 and 46 minutes, and it may not seem a lot, but I guess at the intensity that the game is played at, then it can have an impact, certainly laterally in the game when people start to fatigue a little bit.
Sorry.
Finish with you.
There might be a question marked previously over whether Ireland could compete with physicality or bigger teams. That we've France and South Africa in the last 3 months. So do you feel that any of those concerns are now dispelled?
Yeah, I think that's just outside chat and opinion, which really, we have to. We have to, I guess, put that to one side a bit and work out how we're going to beat a team, whatever attributes they have as a team, what strengths they have. We need to make sure that what we try and do is about our standards and quality of our team, not so much about what the opposition have. Obviously, the French and South Africans have large humans that can do some damage ball in hand. We dropped off too many tackles against France. We weren't as effective in our collision winning, certainly in our tackle game. But I don't think that didn't come to bite us in terms of the physicality. So I don't think it's something that we speak a huge amount about. We talk about making sure that we work harder than them and we're smarter than them, and ultimately we're more effective and more accurate in what we do. And if we do that, then you're still going to come under pressure against big teams, but you feel like you're going to be more effective as well if you get those things right. So it's more focus on ourselves, I guess, and not worry too much about what the outside opinion is around us as a team and who might cause us trouble and who doesn't.